Welcome to Silent Sunday, where there are no talkies in this video. We're keeping it silent only in this review. Today I'm talking about two movies. First is The Kid from 1921 by Charlie Chaplin. I would love to credit more people for this movie, but it is mostly a Chaplin joint. The Kid is played by Jackie Coogan, who gives a nice performance as a boy who is just trying to be like his father by peddling and causing distractions so his father can do the same. The woman, as her name is stated, is played by Edna Purviance. I hope I pronounced that correctly. A sweet woman who gave up her child but now has nothing but regrets about that decision. That's about all I can give credit for as far as non-Chaplin people. This is a movie that is written, directed, edited, and composed by Charlie Chaplin. It was the first full-length feature film that he directed. I am more partial to Buster Keaton than I am Chaplin personally, but I'm glad both did the things that they did. I only prefer Keaton because he is a little more fun and not as sweet, like they don't want you to be as sentimental as Chaplin does. And I kind of respect that just a little bit more. I will say, though, that Chaplin gives an amazing performance here as the Tramp, which would become one of his most iconic characters. The man has no shame in having the biggest feet that have maybe ever been photographed, with the exception of, like, Bigfoot, maybe, if I had to guess. The way that Chaplin conveys emotion with no dialogue is a lost art that we just don't see anymore in movies. This is not schoolwork. I need to preface that now. It is just a very good film. The movie is about a mother that abandons her child in a car with a note for someone to please take care of him. Chaplin ends up raising the child after trying to not have anything to do with him for the first few minutes that he comes across him. So, like, he found him in an alleyway, and now he's trying to just dispose of him in someone else's, like, baby carriage, for instance. It's comedic. 5 years after taking the kid, the Tramp and the kid both live in a small room but have a very loving relationship. The kid breaks windows so the Tramp can be paid to fix them. Now the mother is now a successful woman that gives presents to poor children, but you can tell as she is filled with regret for giving up her baby. You sympathize with her, but mostly want the kid to be happy. You want all these characters to be happy. This movie is about physical comedy, yes, but it also has a very sweet story about parenting. The fun and heartache that comes with that, of course. There is a bully that shows up to intimidate the kid, but the bully is dispatched very quickly because this kid doesn't take any guff from anyone. And because of this, the Tramp has to deal with the bully's big brother. It is a hilarious fight sequence that allows Chaplin to do what he does best, which is, of course, physical comedy. You follow these three characters for over 54 minutes, so it is not a long film, but it is a nice one. You want all three of these characters to just be happy and have just this most wonderful, happy ending. There's a point in the story where authorities attempt to take the kid away, and a great chase to get the kid happens with Chaplin. It's really funny stuff where he's in the back of a truck and he's just doing weird stuff. It's fun. I don't want to spoil more because it does have a nice and sweet message, and it is a great movie for children because it shows the love of both mothers and fathers and doesn't make either of them look weaker or dumb. I recommend this movie as a nice family film, and the kid is absolutely adorable, if I'm being honest. The only thing I would find wrong with this movie is that you don't get enough time with the mother, and I wanted a little more with her so the ending would have had more meaning, but that's a very small complaint. I give the kid an A- or 4 stars out of 4. After watching The Kid, I was still wanting more of that Tramp character, so I also watched A Dog's Life from 1918. This movie is only half as long, so it is considered a short film, but it is almost as sweet. This movie also follows the Tramp, but he is referred to as Charlie. I don't know why, maybe because they hadn't come up with the name Tramp yet, I'm not sure. Man, screw that though. He is the Tramp. The big feet are even still here. Anyway, after avoiding arrest for stealing food by rolling underneath a fence for almost too long, but it's still comedic, the Tramp comes across a stray dog that is being bullied by bigger dogs, and a friendship is born between the two. This is also a sweet story about a man's best friend and the bond that a man and a dog can have. The Tramp attempts to enter a cabaret, but is stopped because dogs aren't allowed there. So he hides the dog in his pants with his tail sticking out of his backside. It's really funny. Like, he just looks like a dude who's just walking around and has a tail. Unfortunately, the Tramp doesn't have any money, but he does meet a girl that seems to not know any social etiquette. So it seems like they're two peas in a pod a little bit. What follows is about 20 minutes of light comedy and a sweet love story. The love story is very superficial, and the ending wouldn't happen that way in real life, but it is a fantasy, so it's okay to check your brain at the door. The movie is over 100 years old, so it's okay. This movie isn't as good as The Kid because it wasn't trying to be. It's just trying to be a small story about a man and his dog, and it works. It's not a masterpiece, but it can't help but make you smile. I recommend A Dog's Life to show you the earlier times of the tramp. It's a great companion piece to a much better story. I give A Dog's Life a B or 3 stars out of 4. Thanks for watching this episode of Silent Sunday. We also review new movies, horror films every Friday, which I call Fright Night Friday, and much more to come. So if you like this, please like and subscribe. And until next Sunday, I will see you with another edition of Silent Sunday. Until then, I am Ghost.